fish on.
Fish on, fish on. Do it by the book, don't take too long. Set the hook, reel it in strong. Fish on, fish on.
We're really doing it. We're going to trout camp.
2024 Inland Trout Opening Day. Ho, 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 ho. Does it get any better? This year, we're going to talk about trout camp tips. How to have a successful and enjoyable trout camp. Trout camp tip number 1. It's better to look good than to catch fish. And for fly fishermen, that's all about flair. Flair on the trout fishing vest. Check out all that flair.
And I look good, smell good, woo, can dance all night long. I can't help it.
And the great thing is, you don't even have to know how all this flair works. My brother Sparky and I are in Montana fly fishing, and we stop into a fly fishing shop. I look on the wall and I go, "Hey Sparky, what do you figure that thing's for?" And he goes, "Benny, you've got one on your vest." Well, it's the first Saturday in May, which means inland trout season is open. And it's another edition of Fishing with Hermie.
Any fish Hermie here, ready to catch any fish.
Trout camp tip number 2, look for boulders. Not for fishing around them, but when you're older, they're great places to sit. Trout camp tip number 3, when you're in waders, there's no such thing as a lost lure in a tree. Hermie, talk to me about the Billy John's chili. You're live!
Oh my God, it's amazing. It's really good. Got a little,
like it?
yeah,
Okay.
It's got a little kick to it. But I got sour cream on it.
There you go. You gotta remember, we got the melons. Mary cut us up a bunch of melons. Trout camp tip number 4, don't let the guy behind you stick his lure in your net, because that's a snag. Trout camp tip number 5, always walk in a column, because if there's bears, it gets the guy behind you.
Yeah, and I'm wearing beef jerky underwear just to protect Big Fish Bill.
I'm Billy Anders, and this is my Trout Camp in the Stream snack. Peanut butter and honey crackers by Lance.
The official snack of Trout Camp 2024. There it is, the form. I made him a legend.
Trout camp tip number 6. We've talked about flair on the fly fisherman's vest and how important it is, and that you don't have to know what everything is. However, things that you don't know what they are can be converted to useful items. Example, the cracker holder. Hey, Any Fish Hermie, are you a fisherman or a catcherman?
Well, I caught these, and I caught a cold, so I guess I'm a catcherman.
Trout camp tip number 7. Know your species.
Okay, is this the brook or is that the brook? Okay, I got it. I think I understand it. This is the perch, bass, trout, right?
So Hermie, what's the bag limit on a rainbow trout?
That's 4.
3. Any Fish Hermie, what's the bag limit on a brown trout?
2.
Any Fish Hermie, what's the bag limit on a brook trout?
4.
3. Do you not see a trend running through this?
What?
They're all 3.
Oh.
Okay, this one's easy. What's the size you can keep of a brook trout?
Size 15, just like mine.
No, 8.
Oh.
Okay, this one's easy. What's the size limit for a rainbow trout?
12.
8. Hermie, I know you can get this one.
Okay.
What is the size limit for a brown trout?
6.
Do you see a trend here, Hermie? What was the same size I gave you for every one of them?
Can you give me a hand?
More than 7, less than 9.
8.
That boy!
Roll the tape.
Today we are going to learn how to play cribbage.
Read 'em and weep, Any Fish.
Billy, what are you talking about? 15-4.
15-2, go fish.
Go fish?
Yahtzee!
Billy, how do you peg with Yahtzee? 15.
Ah! Crazy Eights stops the pegging.
Billy, that makes no sense.
You know, Herm, thanks for making the old fashions, but whenever I drink one of these, I get a pain in my right eye. And I don't know what it is. Trout Camp tip number 7. Buy Canadian crawlers. Because these little fellas, they didn't have visas for our country. Let's save some American crawlers. By the way, pick the ones with the cute little hat. Because trout, they like a little extravagance. Hey, Hermie, are you pretty happy with the widescreen TV I got for the RV? That stands for recreational vehicle.
I tell you, you really outdid yourself.
I'm thinking about a mount, though, so that we can swivel it and turn it.
So here's day 2 fishing diary for...
Hey, Hermie, am I interrupting?
No, ya bitch.
Chicken ass bitch.
Can I speak to you for a sec?
Trout Camp,
Shit, it's dark as
And cut!
Trout Camp 2024 update, day 2. See, he is so annoying.
What is wrong with you? Use that! Use that! No! Yes!
I was going to try to make this positive, but he is so annoying. Everything is about him. Hey, Hermie, got to make an update. It's been interesting spending the last 24 to 30 hours with Billy. I love the guy, but sometimes he kind of wears thin on you. You know, it's all about him. You know, we're out this morning. Hey, got to get up before sunrise. Then, you know, we get out there, it's like, okay, you stand here, you fish from here, use this lure. No, not that one. And then stand here, throw this way. Everything, he just nitpicks. And because, you know, he thinks he knows it all. Everything there is to know about, we didn't get a single bite. So now he's got us going to new places, watching the hockey game. There was a basketball game on. There's 3 minutes left. Hey, Bill, I want to watch the last 3 minutes. No, the hockey game's going to be on. It doesn't start for another 5 minutes. Tomorrow's a new day, and we'll see how it goes. Pray for me.
Well, here's my personal update for Trout Camp 2023. Hermie is just plain
Excuse me,
bitch.
it's 2024.
Stop it. Get some help.
So here's my personal diary for Trout Camp 2024. You know, Hermie is just plain a bitch.
I said bitch.
You should know it's an adventure when you're with Big Fish Bill. I know everything. I get that. I'm trying to hold it back, but I'm trying to impart my wisdom. No, he won't take any of it.
No, why should I fish with that? Why should I use that?
Because I watch a lot of YouTube. I don't know. But here's the other thing. Everything's about Hermie. I got the big screen TV on. Well, where's the basketball game? The hockey game's about to start. No, it has to be basketball. Then the screen has to be turned towards Hermie. We play cribbage. He kicks my ass and he keeps wanting to play it because he dominates. Okay, I get it. Oh, God. This just needs to be a one-man show. 2025 Trout Camp will look very different. It'll be me and it'll be my adventure. And it's all about me. And it will be all about me. But I'm going to give him a little slack here. I'm going to see how tomorrow goes. And we'll see if I even allow him in the RV, which stands for recreational vehicle, by the way. Holy Jesus! Hermie! Did you hear that?
Yeah, I did. It was just a thunderstorm, Billy.
Do you have any room up there?
Yeah. Come on up.
All right, great. Oh. Trout Camp tip number 8. It's a cold and flu season. Be careful and don't try and get out there too early. Right, Hermie?
Damn straight.
Well, it's day 3 of Trout Camp 2024, the morning fish. Got a little bit of a late start because, as Hermie and I discussed, it is the cold and flu season. So, Schmitty, I've stolen your line for all these years. So there's that. But we're going live bait today. We're using some Canadian crawlers that do not have visas, so we're going to kill them, and we're hoping to really catch some fish. So I do have Angela Lansbury on my speed dial. because there's gonna be a murder. This is not a paid advertisement, but this is trout bait. I watched it on YouTube. It's supposed to be killer, and this is what it looks like when it's on your hook. Time for some murder. Trout camp tip number 8. Put the night crawlers in the refrigerator, not the freezer. Trout camp tip number 9. Do not let any fish Hermie near the strong falls where the foam gathers. He makes mustaches, beards. Oh look, I made a soda pop. It's just too much.
Hey Billy, check it out. I want to make a Sasquatch.
And you thought that tip was just kidding. So when any fish Hermie and I aren't finding fish, it's time to fly drones. Goodbye, Hermie. I'm gonna miss you.
I'll miss you.
Okay, see you later.
See you later.
God, I can't believe he's leaving.
Have a great time.
Thanks. I'll try. I can't believe he's leaving. Now I'm gonna be up here for a whole day and a half by myself. There he goes. Oh man. Yes! Now I can do all kinds of stuff! Woohoo! Trout camp tip number 10. Stay the extra day into Monday. That way, you're pretty much up here all alone. There's no generators after hours, generators before hours, music being played in the campground, which is a Big Fish Bill big time pet peeve, and loud voices. It was a peaceful night. It was wonderful. And then you wake up in the morning, you head out to where you're gonna fish and you don't get the, hey, did you catch anything? Hey, did you leave any for me? Hey, are there any fish left in there? You know, all the average jamokes are gone. Except the downside of staying the extra day onto a Monday is I'm any fish Hermie list today. And he's missing this. Ho, 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 ho. And can't you tell? It's just crying out, Big Fish Bill, come catch me. We want to be a legend right along with you. Trout camp tip number 11. If you find yourself any fish Hermie list, just try talking to a tree or a bush or maybe even the river itself. Those conversations can be just as enjoyable. Oh, trout camp tip number 12. If you're not catching any fish, just watch YouTube. Seems everybody's catching fish on YouTube. Trout camp tip number 13. Make sure your drunkle is out of country on a cruise so he can't be commenting on fish here. Oh, show me that, fish there. Well, have you thought about fishing by that big boulder? And make sure your brother is not accessible so you don't get statistics from DNR and telling you how nasty Wisconsin is and you shouldn't be fishing there. And wait, that part didn't come true. But anyways, it's a tip. Trout camp tip number 14. You don't have to live in Vegas to be part of the Blue Man Group. Wear your blue, be sanitary, be safe out there. Trout camp tip number 15. While emptying your tanks on your RV, and that stands for recreational vehicle, and you pull the black tank lever, do not yell, fire in the hole! Fire in the hole! Because apparently Vietnam vets lined up behind you and the older guys that think you're a first timer run to your aid. Trout camp tip number 16. When you're not catching any trout, turn it into walleye camp. Here I come, walleye. Walleye camp tip number 1. Fish for walleye when the walleye are running. Missed it by a couple of months. But who cares? Walleye camp tip number 2. Use as many lures as you can possibly find. It's kind of like when you take mulligans on a par 3 and you're not sure what club, just use them all. It's what you do when you walleye fish and they're not running. So be it trout camp, walleye camp, trout walleye camp, it really doesn't matter. It's not about catching fish. Like I've said many times, it would be called catching. It's fishing. Go out in the great outdoors. Clear your head. Replenish your soul. It's the most wonderful thing on the planet. Any fish, Hermie, you were gallant. You fought the fight. There were no fish biting. It is the worst weekend for inland trout fishing, but it is opening weekend and you have to go, right? Well, I guess that's trout, walleye camp, fishing wrap.
Eventually, all things merge into one. And a river runs through it. The river was cut by the world's great flood and runs over rocks from the basement of time. On some of the rocks are timeless raindrops. Under the rocks are the words, and some of the words are theirs. I am haunted by waters.
She's a fighter. Yeah, and I'm wearing shit.
Because trout like a little extravagant.
Say it now.
Extravagance? Herm, what are you thinking? Is this your day?
I'm thinking the fish are numbered.
Okay, cut. I didn't give him any advance. Hermie, here's a line. You weren't going to do that. You were going to do, remember you were going
I know.
to do, okay.
I was trying to mess with, I was waiting for a reaction from you. Two.
That's not a brown trout. And it's 3. I'm laughing too hard. Did you try and do that? Do you see a trend running? What was every answer I gave you?
Wrong.
8. Oh, you dick.
The official